Okay, my last presentation is related to a specific case that is this customer is EasySnap. I spend a few minutes to explain who is EasyPlan. It's a very startup company, very smart, who has patented the container, the pocket you see just on the right. This is an innovative unit dose pack that opens and dispenses product with only one hand. That's incredible. It's a pocket composed by one rigid plastic and just in front a flexible with the liquid, the fluid inside, a different size. And only using one hand with a cut just behind the rigid plastic, not completely finished cut, of course, that you have broken with one hand. This is incredible and very innovative way to open and to use for, so I don't know, to clean your hand, to put the oil in somewhere, the fluid. Okay, only one hand. This is patented. It's this company exists since 2002, and let me say has patented the mechanism. Let me say the idea, but also the machine able to realize and to produce. They are able to let me say supply the material, the plastic, so they sell in the market the plastic, and also is able to produce for you. If you have the liquid, they are able to produce the EasySnap for you in the number, in the size you decide. Very, very, and we collaborate with them in order to define the better machine to produce it in terms of mechanism, to tune the mechanism, to supply the correct hardware, the correct code, correcting, because let me say the accuracy it must be very high, because if you do a cut, the plastic is very thin plastic, and you have to do the cutting in a correct way, with the tolerance very, very, very tight. Okay, this is the company, what they did. They realized such kind of project as the PAMA case. They have realized this virtual machine in both cases. Virtual, the simulator, and in virtual also the PLC. So no hardware. So they are sure, 100% sure that when the mechanism will be realized and the hardware will be ready, they are able to do the performance, the target performance. That is a case similar, more or less similar than the PAMA, but also they are very innovative because they suppose to change the business model in this way. The machine, just on the left you can see the simulated machine, on the right the real machine, of course. So the performance is absolutely the same performance in terms of timing and the mechanism and so on. And in the real machine, they have introduced the last generation of Siemens production. This last generation is able to be able to contact directly through the web the specific cloud for industry, that is our MindSphere, that later on I speak a little bit about this mechanism, dedicated 100% to the manufacturing, able to extract the information from Siemens machine, from Siemens engine, from any kind of controller, numerical control or PLC from Siemens, but also for third party, not Siemens, and send it to a specific cloud system that is an operating system called MindSphere, able to do something in cloud that could be see exactly the situation of the machine in cloud, do some analysis in cloud, and from EasySnap perspective, they realize a specific software on top, because an open platform able to specific app able to take under control the maintenance of their machine. So the idea is not, okay, sell the machine, sell the material, and sell the maintenance, as the previous case, through the web in cloud. But this is, let me say, the whole story. The new story is that they are thinking, they're considering to don't sell the machine, but sell the performance of the machine. So they don't want to sell the machine, but install their machine in the customer environment, and sells the production of the machine, okay, directly. Maintenance and production and material. This is a completely innovative, once again, innovative way to consider the business and the business model. This can be done because we have delivered a general, let me say, cloud operating system able to help to supply the correct tools to help the industry. Okay, this is dedicated 100% to the industry, and is able to extract the information from absolutely different device in a digital way. So the idea is, if you have an engine that is not, for instance, Siemens, we hope that you have the device Siemens, of course, but if you don't have it, we can extract the information using a specific mechanism, very cheap mechanism, able to extract the information, address the information through the network, through the web, in a specific cloud that is MindSphere. In that cloud, you are able to see the performance of the signal that you are extracting, that you want to control, with the timing and the quantity per day, per hour, per second is not important. And you don't need any kind of hardware, because this is a pay-per-use mechanism. There is a huge number of devices that can be controlled in this way, because what you need is only a digital signal. Okay, extract it, address in a specific site, and see the result in a tool inside this MindSphere through the web. First step. This is the first step. In any case, this is an open platform, so you can use the existing application on top of this. You can pay per month what you want of the application we have already delivered. You can buy application of third party. Accenture is a supplier of this kind of application for us. Also Atos, also some other supplier. Or develop your own application. Exactly fitted of your requirement, your business, and using the macro tool inside the open platform. So you must be familiar, of course, with the develop activity, of course, but not too much. Let me say something different. This is the idea. You consider that you don't have to pay nothing for the hardware because all is pay-per-use in the web. And honestly, in no more than 5 minutes, if you have a digital signal, you are able alone without any Siemens support, because we tested it many times, to address your information in the web and see the result. That's more or less the idea used by EasySnap. And the way to work is very easy, because you extract the data. You have considered that the security is a high security mechanism, because the decryptation of the information is absolutely at the high level. You move from the reality through the web to the MindSphere. It is a site. You have a password and you address it. Very easy. You hit the IP address and go ahead. And then you can see exactly the situation using the existing app that you pay every month. That's, if you consider that and also use the result in your situation, of course. Depends on which kind of app you are using on top of this system. In this way, you can test how modify your existing situation. Because when we have the situation for the pharma, I don't know, for the in process industry, discrete is not important. When you have the hardware in the shop floor, we have the software to control the hardware, the line, the sector, the specific area, and so on. And you have some software, another layer able to control the different situations. So when you have to add the specific control or specific sensor able to extract the information, you have to call the system integrator, do something, the shop floor, change the first layer, and maybe change also the second layer, and so on. Because the hierarchy is very, very tight. So you must be sure that you are changing something useful, because it is expensive, costs money. In this way, you can test as you want. You have a sensor, extract the information, and see if the control of the information mixed with some other information, this information is useful to change the production to increase your performance. Okay? This is more or less the situation. So it's more flexible than in the past. We are able to do both. Change the hardware, change the layer, the SCADA or what else in the automation area, or change something in the MES. Okay, I don't know if you are familiar with the layer in the shop floor. We do it because this is our job. But in this case, we are able to do something different, something in parallel. Why you have to do this? Because the good example from SAP. You extract the information. You have to consider the information. You could extract the information and store the information inside in a server, in a specific disk just beside your machine. Why not? This is the normal way to work. You install a server, so you need a new server, a new software, another person able, another system integrator able to do something in order to mix them. In this case, you have the same information in the cloud. You can access to this information by web, outside the company completely, in a sure way, with the lowest cost as possible. And when you decide this is not more interesting for you, you have to turn off the pay-per-use, and okay, you're wrong, you change something in a different way. This is the idea just behind this situation. And what I tell you a little bit, that will be my last I forgot to mention in this presentation one very important thing, that is in this case, excuse me. In this case, what EasySnap did is not only produce innovative machine, virtual commissioning, the cloud, the maintenance in cloud, predictive maintenance in cloud, change the business model, but also the mechanism by which they change the way to do the maintenance. Because through the virtual augmented reality, I don't know if you are familiar with this. Augmented reality means what is already told in the previous presentation, is something by which, okay, you are in front of the machine and you see the screen of the machine. The screen is able to tell you what is the situation of the machine. That is normal. The way I push the button, the machine changes something, or someone in remote push the button is the same. But control the machine is one thing. But through the augmented reality, I am able to mix the situation of the machine that I can see with the situation of the material, with let me say, the performance of the machine, how many shifts he have done, or for weeks, for months, or what will be the next maintenance, programmed maintenance, okay, using a tablet or using the glasses is absolutely the same. I see a portion, graphical portion. It's not necessary to have a tag or something like this, or QR code is not important. You with your tablet is able to see the machine, and the machine in somehow is able to tell you a lot of information not stored inside the machine, because you are able to collect the information just inside the factory. Okay, that's the idea. And also you are able to start and see in 3D, for instance, the mechanism by which you have to perform the next maintenance. Okay, in an animated way. This is called, generally speaking, augmented reality. It's not important if you use a smartphone, a tablet, glasses, it's absolutely the same. You see something that in the reality you cannot see, because the system is able to collect the information. So you must have the digital information. You must have it just around the machine, and you can access to this information only watching the machine. That's all. Okay. This is a startup. It's not. They don't have a whole story in machine tool since 20 years ago, 30 years ago. They're very innovative, and I suggest to take in consideration this, because the technology is accessible. So you can have access to the technology at very low cost today, and will be cheaper, more and more cheaper in the future. The problem is you have to know what is your target. Again, the problem is not the technology. It's not tomorrow technology. It's today. Today it's not something that you have to wait. But you have to understand that this technology exists, and maybe this technology, portion of this, some other technology, is useful to improve the performance of your company. That's the main topic. I have finished. Thank you. If you don't have a question.